Petrov defense with the Ruy Lopez. But now he brought his knight there, so it's getting to be very similar. And I castle. This is what they call the Berlin defense. He brought his bishop out. And I chase his bishop. But now I think he made a mistake. Now I think he should have brought his bishop here. Instead, he retreated his bishop, which he could have done in one move. He could have brought his bishop there in one move. Why go here and then come back? And now he makes it a bad bishop by blocking it in. That bishop doesn't have any moves. And this is where I suddenly looked at the board and says, you know, it reminds you of that game that we were just looking at. His bishop has a very difficult time getting out if I go here. So I played that same move, and now how's the bishop going to develop? Can't go there, can't go there. If it goes here, I do the fork. I guess he could have gone there, but then how's his queen going to get out? His pieces are all jammed up. But he only made it worse. He chased my bishop away like this, but now the bishop is aiming toward the king. And now very similar to that game, he brought his rook over. I played pawn here, because I want to go queen there without allowing a knight for it. And now he should have done this, which is what the guy did in the game we just looked at. Instead he came back here, and now this was very powerful. Because of tactics. If he tries to win a pawn, pawn takes, knight takes, rook takes, how do I use a tactic to win the queen? Can you see how I could win his queen in two moves here? With a discovered attack. The only thing preventing my queen from capturing his queen is my own bishop. How can I move the bishop away and then win the queen on the next move? What's the right bishop move?
B5.
No, because on B5 he would just go queen takes queen. It has to be a check, so that gives you a big hint. What's the one check that the bishop could play, Avni? What square?
Oh, got it. Yeah. H7.
Right. I would go bishop H7 check, and regardless of whether he captures with the knight or the king, then I would win his queen on the next move. So now his knight's in big trouble because of that combination, which would win his queen. So he retreats the knight, but now he gets into a big space problem, as you'll see in a minute. So at this point here, my pawns are like this. Now look at this. Look at the space problem. All those pieces are scrunched up. And
not even one piece is farther.
Yeah, look, these sleeping. He has three sleeping pieces. This piece will never move in the whole game. Now, how do I play a combination? Do you remember what a combination is? That's more than one move. So if you checkmate somebody in one move, that's not a combination. It usually has to be like 3 moves or more to be considered a combination. How can I play a 4-move combination and win his queen? Or checkmate him? And I'll give you a big hint. It's the same as the move that we just looked at in the last position. What's the move again?
H7.
Yeah, bishop to captures H7 check. And he takes the bishop. And now I go knight check, and his king's in big trouble. Where could his king even go? If his king goes here, I have a knight fork, which wins his queen, plus it's a discovered double check. All right. If he goes king here, well, I checkmate him very quickly, queen check. All right. If he goes here, then I have this check. And the only way to avoid losing immediately is to go here. But then I'm going to do en passant. Remember en passant? We didn't do the en passant rule? All right, this is a good time to mention en passant.
What is that?
It's a French word or French phrase. En passant means in passing in French.
En passant.
And 1,500 years ago, when chess was invented, pawns could only move one square. They could never go 2 squares. But about 500 years ago, they changed the rules. They said, these games are taking too long. Let's let people castle. You couldn't castle until 500 years ago. And let's let pawns move 2 squares on the first move. But then somebody says, wait a minute. Under the old rules, if this pawn moved 1 square, white could go pawn takes pawn. So what do we do now when the pawn goes 2 squares and passes by that square. They says, well, you can still capture it. It's the stupidest rule in all of chess, but see, chess, I didn't invent chess. You know, if I was inventing chess, I would change a lot of things. I wouldn't call them rooks. I don't know what a rook is. I wouldn't call them pawns. I wouldn't call it discovered check. I'd call it uncovered check. And the en passant rule I would just get rid of, but that would cost him the game because it would be a check. And when he goes king here, this would force either checkmate or the loss of the queen. This would be a devastating position for black. White would be winning. So he brought his king here, but now after this move, the only way to stop checkmate is he has to give up his queen. And now he's completely losing. But he kept playing on anyway. But, you know, he played on for a few more moves. But you can see the space problem that he had. Look how his bishop never moved. All of his pieces, and if this bishop doesn't move, this rook can't get out. It all started with a space problem. So this was a very key move to prevent him from getting rid of one of his diamond pieces. Okay, so now you guys, I'm sure, want to play chess. We can